Flower arrangements. How are flowers arranged differently on plants? And how do different flower arrangements help a plant use pollinators to make seeds?
Hi guys, it's Eric, your science teacher. I'm coming to you today from the Smithsonian Center for Environmental Research in Edgewater, Maryland. There are so many flowers and so many pollinators that are living right outside this research center. So today, we are going to explore how are these different flowers attracting pollinators? What different strategies are they using? And how are the different flowers arranged on the plant? What kind of arrangements might attract different kinds of pollinators? What kinds of strategies are each of these plants using?
Three ways that flowers can be arranged are simple, clustered, or composite. A simple flower is a flower that has one flower on its own flower stalk. One flower on one flower stalk. There's a second flower over here, and this second flower has its own flower stalk. So simple flowers, each flower has its own flower stalk. With a simple flower, each flower has its own flower stalk. One flower on one flower stalk. Another flower on its own flower stalk. Each flower has its own flower stalk. Simple flowers have their own flower stalks. Now let's go take a look at some other simple flowers. When lots of very small flowers share a flower stalk, we call that a flower cluster. Lots of smaller flowers together sharing the same flower stalk. The third kind of flower that we have are composite flowers. Composite flowers look like one flower at first, but when we look more closely, we realize that there's actually lots of mini little flowers, all with their same flower parts, but all sharing the same petals. A composite flower has many little flowers. All of these things are little flowers that share the same petals. Each individual flower has its own anthers and its own stigmas, but they all share the same petals. And from far away, composite flowers often look like one big flower. But when we look more closely, we can see that that one big flower is actually lots of little flowers, all sharing the same petal. So to review, simple flower arrangements, each flower has its own flower stalk. Clusters, many flowers share the same flower stalk. And composites, many almost different flowers share the same petals.